Hi everyone, this is an introduction to drawing supply and demand zones. When you identify a supply or a demand zone, you need to know how to draw the zone correctly. But if you make mistakes when drawing supply or demand zones, you will miss a lot of opportunities. The zone is called the base, and it is the beginning of the strong move that is made by a bank or any financial institution. When drawing supply or demand zone, we focus on the last candle that is formed before the strong move. This candle is called the basing candle. As you can see in this example, this is a supply zone, and the last candle that was formed before this strong move down is this one, this doji candlestick. So this doji candlestick is called the basing candle, and when drawing the supply zone, we will take this candle into consideration. Alright, look at this example of a demand zone. As you can see, this is a demand zone. The basing candle is this one, this doji candlestick, because it is the last candle that was formed before the strong move up. So when drawing the demand zone, we will take this candle into consideration. So in general, when drawing supply or demand zone, we take the basing candle into consideration. And the basing candle is the last candle that is formed before the strong move up or down. The zone of supply and demand can be identified by drawing two features, the distal line and the proximal line. When drawing a supply zone, as you can see in this example, we draw a proximal line that covers the lower shadows of the basing candle and the distal line at the upper shadow of the candle, as you can see here. If the candle has no upper or lower shadow, we draw the lines at the lowest close and the highest close of the candle. When it comes to a demand zone, or when drawing a demand zone, we draw a distant line that covers the lower shadow of the candle and the proximal line at the upper shadow of the basing candle. Let me give you some real chart examples. This is the Euro-USA dollar daily chart. This is a clear supply zone. As you can see, this is a rally base drop. The basing candle is this one. This is the last candle that was formed before this strong move down. So we draw the proximal line that covers the lower shadows of the basing candle and the distant line at the upper shadow. So here we have a clear supply zone. When the market returns to test the zone, we wait only for a price action signal to short the market. We will talk about how to trade the zone in future lessons. Look at another example. This is the Aussie JPY daily chart. This is a rally-based drop supply zone pattern. The last candle before this strong move down is this one, the doji candle. So the doji is the basing candle. To draw the supply zone, we do the same thing we did previously. We draw the proximal line that covers the lower shadows of the basing candle and the distal line at the upper shadows. So here we are. This is a nice supply zone. As you can see, when the market returned to test the zone, the market went down strongly. To trade this supply zone, the market provided us with a high probability setup, which is the inside bar candlestick pattern. But we are not going to talk about how to trade supply and demand zone. We will talk about trading strategies in the next lessons, not right now. Let me give you another example. This is the USA dollar, Canadian dollar daily chart. This is a clear drop, base, rally demand zone. When you identify the demand zone, try to find what is the last candle that was formed before this strong move up. This is a doji candlestick, so this doji is the basing candle. To draw the demand zone, we draw the distant line that covers the lower shadows of the candle and the proximal line at the upper shadow of the basing candle. Alright, look at another example. This is the pound Swiss franc for our chart. As you can see, this is the first rally base, rally demand zone, followed by a rally base, rally demand zone. We will focus on the second demand zone here because it is fresh and it is the first zone that the market is going to test. So the basing candle here is this one. we draw the demand zone, and as you can see, when the market returned to test this zone, the market was strongly rejected, forming a nice pin bar candlestick pattern. You know, when drawing supply and demand zones, you will find different basic candles, not only doji candles. Sometimes it can be a pin bar or an engulfing bar or an inside bar, and this is what I'm going to cover in the next lesson.